So do you know how to rainproof your GoPro? So one of the things that I want to do is waterproof this little area here, so when it goes into the, when it gets attached to the helmet, that the water won't get down inside these little ports here. There's the HDMI port on the GoPro Hero 5, and then there's the little USB-C port. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this stuff called shoe goop. You may have heard of it, you may have not. Basically it's like a rubber that it hardens up like a rubber and it creates a seal, and mostly use it for shoes to replace the soles and things like that on them, or to repair the soles. So what I'm doing now is basically just getting a piece of tape. So I only need it to be like just deep enough to fit in that hole and not cause any problems when I put the shoe goop in. So masking tape is wonderful stuff. So I'm going to I don't care if this sets just right on there or not, but looking for the USB-C cable for my GoPro. 1 second. That's not the one. Here we go. So the USB, I'm not going to put it where the sticky side sits on here. I'm going to put it to where the back of the masking tape is, towards the port. That way it doesn't stick to it. And basically I want it to go almost all the way down on there, so that I can slide it off of there and then set it inside of here, basically creating like a dam for this so that the shoe goop doesn't get inside. I'm going to use another piece of masking tape to kind of secure it, because the shoe goop is kind of thick, you know. And I want to make sure that I've got it down inside the port, so I can get it here. And there's got to be enough space for the USB port to go down in the hole. When I get it, I'll have to cut some out, but that's okay. So and I'll trim this up when I get done, but you can see how thick this stuff is. Alright, so I'm going to use a toothpick to kind of push this down in here around that port. And when this stuff dries, it's going to be super hard, like the soles of your shoes, kind of hard. So I just want to make sure that I got it covering that port. I'm also trying to be careful not to get this down inside the microphone port there, because these microphone ports help with the noise reduction on the cameras. So, paper towel. So now I should be able to pull that out. I just need it on the one side. And I'm going to put a little more goop over here. It's like a hot glue gun without the hot glue part. And I can also use the toothpick to kind of manipulate where the hole is in here too. And I'll use a razor blade to trim it after I'm done. You want to make sure that you don't trim off the GoPro. And this isn't probably going to be fully waterproof, so don't think that, you know, you're 100% safe and that I'm saying, you know, this is going to completely protect your camera. That's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying it's a precaution, you know, so if you do get caught in the rain or, you know, something like that, you've got a little extra protection. So water resistant, if nothing else. Oh, and this will not work underwater. This is just for the rain. So don't think that you can plug your port in and go underwater with it, because you can't. Alright, so now I'm just going to put this cable, try to put the cable back down the side there, just to hold it. It's already starting to get kind of solid. My dad used to use this stuff on his running shoes because, you know, he'd run 14 miles a day and he'd wear out his shoes pretty quick. So it helps replace the stuff that you miss, and it does not look pretty, by the way. And I'm sure there's probably other better things out there that you can use, but this is what I'm using. So there. Now I just gotta let it dry. So when I come back, this will be dry and I can pull it out, trim it, and test it. So let me see if it says what the drying time is here. Prepare to dry for 24 hours depending on the materials and the temperature. Maximum strength may not be reached for 48 to 72 hours, so it might be 1 or 2 days before I come back. Alright, so it's been a couple days now, and that is pretty solid. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and take this tape out, and you can see that the port is uncovered, and we can test it with the USB-C, and you can see that it's pretty solid. So nothing should get down in there, but you never know. I'm going to leave this lip around the edge. Actually, I can't leave that lip around the edge. So now in order for it to fit in the housing, we've got to trim off everything and make it flush with the side of the case. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll be back in a minute. Now I could pull this whole glue thing completely out of the port and have it back to the way, you know, it was originally, if I needed to. So this It's not a huge deal. The main thing is getting this flush so that it fits back in the GoPro housing. Without cutting the camera. And how long this takes you depends on how much of the stuff you got built up on it. So it's looking pretty flush. I said you just don't want to cut your GoPro. Maybe you can help it. So I'm trying not to. You can see I got like a little tiny bit right here. It's because it's super sharp. And right now I'm just using the side of the razor blade to flatten this, get all the burrs, so to speak, out. There we go. So as you can see, it fits inside the mount now, and that's what I was looking for. So we'll hook up the microphone next, and then the MotoVlog setup should be done. Okay, so now I'm testing the microphone to see how it does. We'll find out here in a minute. so now I'm testing the microphone to see how it does. We'll find out here in a minute. Alright, so as you can see, it works. So, little goop in the hole. Cover the hole and you're good to go. I said it's not waterproof. It's only mostly water resistant. In other words, if you're out and you submerge this, it's not going to stop you from, you know, having damage. It does come out. When it comes out, there's not like a mold release or anything like that in here, so you got to be careful when you take it out. And you also have to be careful when you scrape this down to make sure that it's level, so it's not foolproof. That's how to waterproof your GoPro for the rain, basically. So hope you enjoyed it, and I hope it helps.